What is the number one piece of advice you would give to someone just starting out on YouTube?
I feel like I would say to not want a viral video, which I feel like in this day of age, a lot of people want the viral videos. And I think with apps like such as TikTok, it makes it that much more accessible. But sometimes it's not bad going viral overnight. Because sometimes when we're just starting out, we're getting a feel not only for lighting and editing and sound and all of the different things, but we're also finding our own footing. Like our first few videos, as so many creators, are terrible and cringy and all of the things. Like imagine if that was your first video. Like give yourself some time to get used to it and then like hope for the viral video.
Yeah, I love that. That's great. What is the number one regret you have when it comes to your entire YouTube career?
My number one regret, I would probably say self-sabotage. I feel like there has been many times where I have had different opportunities that I just basically self-sabotage myself. I had no real rhyme or reason of saying no to things. It just, I felt like I wasn't deserving of them or other creators were more deserving of them. And so I've said to a lot of things because I felt like I shouldn't have that happen. And so that's something I've really worked on, especially the past like year and a half of really pushing past self-sabotage.
So when you said no to certain things, what were they? Brand opportunities, collaborations, or what were they specifically?
Basically all of the above, brand collabs, even like sponsorships, but even YouTuber collabs. I turned down a collab with like one of the biggest beauty YouTubers because I thought, why me? I don't understand. How did you find me? Why me? I'm not good enough. No way. And to this day, I'm like, wow, that was dumb.
So you just flat out said no, you didn't want to do it?
Yeah, I basically just was like, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think I'm ready for that because, I was like that it will catapult my channel for sure. Like it would probably be life-changing. And yeah, and now I don't have the opportunity to go back to say I changed my mind. So, bummer.
Yeah, because I was going to say, well, what if you go back and just be like, hey, remember that collab? Are you still interested?
Yeah, I wish I could, but they do not make videos anymore. So,
Oh, oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. At what point did you realize that was a bad decision on your end?
Pretty shortly after that.
Oh,
It didn't take me too long that I was like, wow, that was really dumb.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah.
Well, what video that you created are you most proud of and why?
I think it was actually a recent video that I did. I did a Q&A on my birthday. And, I'm really proud of it because that really showed me who my audience was. I asked on my Instagram stories for questions. And, there was a few questions in there of like, what's your favorite food and what's your favorite wine? And those are always so fun to answer. I love those types of questions. But the majority of the questions were on inspiration, motivation, and like very deep, thoughtful questions. And a big part of me and, kind of my branding is inspiring people. My podcast is called Started Inspired. Like that's what I like to talk about because I've been through so many things in life and I share about so many of those things. So when I realized that was the majority of the questions coming in, that's what it made me feel like I was having that type of impact on people. And that was the people that I was bringing in. And I felt like, not to like toot my own horn, but like I felt like I did a really good job answering the questions and inspiring people. And I still, the video was only posted, just over a month ago, but it's still getting traction. People are still commenting on it and finding it. And I'm really proud of the advice that I gave in there.
How much did YouTube pay you for your highest viewed video?
Yeah. So it was interesting when you asked this because I was like, my gosh, I really have no idea. And my first thought was I was kind of surprised because to me, I don't know. I was kind of surprised. So my highest viewed video is ranking all of the eyeshadow palettes that I tried it would have been 2019. And I don't have a viral video. I don't have anything like that. My growth through these 5 years has been like just slow and steady. I've never had one thing that like shot me off. So that was my first video ever to get over 100,000 views ever. Like that was my first one. So it has right now, it has 128,000 views, and my revenue on it is $1,380.
Got it. Okay. And so you say you don't have a lot of viral videos.
No, no, I've never had one like take off. I don't have anything in the millions. I don't even have anything over 200,000. Like I'm just not a viral person. But that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, because you're at over 100,000 subscribers, you've been on YouTube for 5 years. So, in a way, it's like people grow in different ways. And I think there's pros and cons. Like you mentioned at the beginning of this, like, don't necessarily go, it's not necessarily a good thing to go crazy viral because if you're not ready for it, then it's like that's not the best representation of you and your channel.
Mm-hmm.
And I have seen a lot of instances where people grow very quickly, but then they have to play catch up with their audience, meaning that they have all these subscribers, but they're not necessarily like in love with them and their
Mm-hmm.
content. So they don't necessarily always come back for more after that viral video. They might have subscribed, but then they forget. And in a way, I guess for you, it's like by building things slowly, do you feel as if you have a really good core audience?
Mm-hmm. I do. And so I'm totally cool with my journey because to me, I feel like the majority of my subscribers are really interested in my content and in me. Because there's plenty of channels that I see that have way more subscribers than me, but my views are better.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, they probably had that one or two viral videos where they got a bunch of followers all at one time, but they don't really care. Especially, you have to be careful if a video does go viral that's maybe not in your niche, then there's a really high chance that those people are not coming back. So when I was like trying to do viral videos in the beginning and like hacks and like DIYs, I'm like, I don't want to even do these videos. Like, I hope they don't go viral
Mm,
because these people aren't going to stick around and it's going to hurt your
yeah,
engagement. So,
yeah,
yeah, so I'm actually totally fine with it.
yeah, definitely. What is your biggest challenge when it comes to YouTube?
I think my biggest challenge is having boundaries because I am so open and I have been for such a long time since I started blogging in 2009, published my first book in 2011. I'm just used to being open with the internet. But I've also seen the internet, from 2009 to now is very, very different. And there's also a deep desire in so many people to cancel others and like bring up the worst about people, which we really didn't have that in 2009. You could post a terrible makeup look and people would be like, you go, girl, that's
Yeah,
amazing. Whereas
yeah,
now you could post an amazing look and people would be like, I don't like your nose. And it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
So I think definitely boundaries is my hardest thing just because it's second nature to me to share everything about my day. And I've tried to be like, okay, maybe I don't have to share absolutely everything I'm eating today. Like,
yeah, because
that's
it
been
can
the hard part.
backlash. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, it definitely can. And the more you share, the more you put out there, the more people can find things to be mad at you about. And, so you have to be careful with what you decide to put online. I mean, even something as small as sharing where you are in that moment or holding a box up where maybe your address could be, I mean, you just have to be so careful. You always have to be
Yeah.
so careful.
Has there been anything you've shared that you've like really regretted or that's backlashed?
I don't think so. Nothing, I've made like little mistakes here and there, and if I could go back to redo them, it'd probably be better. But I think there's also a real beauty in making mistakes and learning. And it's one thing that I worry about for right now because I feel like everyone feels like they cannot make absolutely any mistake online. Um, but I feel like that's how you grow as a person. It's how you learn. It's how you learn to handle how you handle your mess ups and everything. But I don't think there's anything that I'm like I've never deleted a video or anything like that. Even my old ones, I'm like, whatever, it's fine. Shows my growth, my journey.
Yeah, definitely. What is the biggest opportunity you got as a result of being on YouTube?
I've definitely got some really cool opportunities, but probably my collaborations with Ofra Cosmetics. I've done technically three collaborations with them now. The first one was under their Project Influencer in 2019, where I came out with like a favorites bundle with them. And it actually did really well. So they asked me to do a full collection where I got to create my own shades and my own names. That launched in March 2020, which we all know what else launched in March 2020. So the actual collab part was the launch part was very interesting. But then we actually did another one that just launched in March 2021. And it was like, I mean, to me, it was just a huge success. It's available at Ulta Beauty. So to be able to type my name in at Ulta Beauty and see my name and my photo come up on the website is like, what is this?
Is that collection in the stores as well, or just online?
No, just online. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I was like, that'd be cool to walk into the store and see your photo.
Yes, that too. That if that ever happens, that will be a whole moment too.
Who are your favorite YouTube creators to watch as a viewer?
Oh my gosh. So I feel like, when I started watching YouTube, I was watching like the big YouTubers, and I still do watch plenty of big YouTubers and, Kathleen Lights and Casey Holmes, and I still watch Carly Bible. She was the first one I ever started watching. It's been so amazing to meet so many people through this and have so many people that I consider to be my friends, which is so special. So I mean, I feel like I could like name people and I'd be so worried if I forgot anybody. But, Michelle Wong has been a favorite channel of mine for a while. And she's actually here in Vegas. When people say they don't believe YouTubers are friends in real life, she helped me move in, brought me my first dinner, brought me an air mattress, like all of the things. So it's just been amazing. But I feel so lucky to have so many good friends, and Ashley Clady, Makeup Molly, Allie Glines, Risa does makeup, Stephanie Marie, so many people. It's so amazing. A lot of us have Marco Polo, so we just talk all day long, which is awesome. Angelica, I know Angelica was on here too. So
well, Angelica was, yes. Michelle was. I mean, a lot of the people Stephanie you named. Stephanie was. Yeah. I mean, it's cool to see genuine relationships amongst the beauty community. And I think you guys are kind of like, there's like these big gurus that are out there like causing so much drama. I think we all know who they are. And then there's this group of like serious, hardworking women that are out there doing their thing, being consistent, and I think genuinely wanting to make the beauty space a more just, I don't know, like less drama and just more of a genuine space. And I think you're kind of part of that crew and the other ladies you mentioned.
Yeah. I hope that I am. And I think it's so important too. And every once in a while I'll see a tweet like YouTube friendships aren't real. And like, you have no idea, like who was getting me through my divorce was my YouTube friends. Like those were the ones who were checking on me every single day. And the ones that even during COVID were offering to fly across the country to help me pack my house. Like those were the friends that were doing it. So
yeah. I mean, I can attest to that. I have made some lifelong friends just from this podcast and meeting people. And, it's just like any industry. It's like there's going to be good people and there's going to be not so good people. And it's just kind of trying to gravitate towards the people that are, that you feel are good, I guess,
Yeah.
And I think the drama gets kind of it's out there more because of the algorithm and people click on it and that's what everybody thinks of. But there's a whole group of people out there that are lovely, wonderful people. I mean, I get the opportunity to work with them and talk with them every single day. So
yeah, exactly.
What is your number one tip for coming up with new video ideas?
That's one of my favorite things to do actually, is to come up with new video ideas, but don't skip looking in your comments. Like I just filmed a video today that came from a comment. But then also match what's coming in your comments with your analytics. Like don't forget to look at your analytics. Don't forget to see what it is that's doing well, and try to like marry the two together. Because that's really helped me when I first started the Will I Buy It series, at the beginning, like 5 years ago. And I would realize, wow, people keep like I would have, just starting out 400, 500 views. And then I would post a Will I Buy It and it would have like 2,000. And I'm like, something's going on here. Like that told me, keep posting this video. And I've noticed recently, like anytime I post a video on eyeshadow palettes, people love it and it gets, viewed much more quickly. It's, right away people are coming to that video. So I'm like, every single month, do an eyeshadow palette video, but look at your comments to see what people are saying. What are they saying they want? And how do you make it an eyeshadow palette video? So comments and analytics, I think, are very important.
Yeah. And I love how you talk about looking at both. Because I think a lot of time people think about, oh, I'm looking at the comments and everyone's telling me to do this. And I do it again and again. It's like, well, have you paid attention to analytics to tell you like, well, like some people say one thing, but I think the numbers say another thing. And it's super important to pay attention to the analytics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, even the analytics and seeing like what videos have done well and looking at the thumbnails that you posted, looking at the titles that you posted, that's really important too. Don't just look at the video and be like, okay, that's the topic. What did your thumbnail look like? What did your title look like? Did that, I think that's important too. So, because sometimes you get comments and it's like, I've either done that video and it didn't do well, but then, it can be kind of up to you to, okay, how do I put a different spin on it then? How do I use my creativity to do what is doing well on my channel, but bring that into, it's always, and it's so hard because it's always changing. It's always, social media is ever evolving and you've constantly, sometimes I feel like I'm in like a hamster wheel, like trying to constantly keep up. But at the same time, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I think with creatives, like we think it's kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's a challenge, but it's a good challenge.
Yeah.
Why do you think people watch your channel?
I think people watch my channel and come back because I try to be just very real and very myself. And, with talking about some more personal stories or mental health or whatever it is I happen to be struggling with and being open with that. I think that's why people come back because I'm just a very real person. Like I've had so many people say to me, like, you don't seem like some of the other people, and everyone is themselves and nothing's wrong with obviously with being yourself, but I get a lot of those comments, and so I think people come back for just being a real person. And I'm not afraid to come online with my makeup not looking good. I'm not afraid to come online with no makeup, and I have hormonal acne and I have acne scarring and I have redness. I'm not afraid to start a video with no makeup. I'm not afraid to do a video in no makeup. I'm not afraid to come online and say my eyeliner is not good today, but this is just real life. Like I don't always look perfect. And I think as someone who's in the beauty space, people think that I have this desire to always look perfect. And it's the complete opposite. I think it's important to show that we have bad days. We have bad skin days. We have bad makeup days because I'm just a real person. I'm not a makeup artist. I don't even consider myself like a beauty guru. I'm just an author who really likes makeup and I happen to make a career on social media out of it.
What is your superpower that has contributed to your success?
I think my superpower would be like my work ethic and my like self-motivation. And, it really helps loving what I do. Obviously, that comes into play. But I feel like I've always been very self-motivated to even write a book, to start a blog. But even all the way back to college, when my college started to offer online classes, I was like, I'm definitely taking online classes because then I can work more at my jobs and I can also blog more and work on my book more. And because it was being offered right then, so many of my friends were like, I'm doing online classes too because I don't have to go to real class. I don't have to get up. I don't have to walk across campus. And the majority of them ended up going back to real class because they weren't showing up to online because you have to be self-motivated to go to your online classes. And I was one of the very few that actually finished out an online course while working 3 jobs, while running a blog, while writing a book. And it's just, I think that's my superpower is time management, getting things done.
I think that's a superpower for a lot of creators.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much that you have to do. Mm-hmm. And people see a 15-minute video and literally think you sit down for 15 minutes and plop it in, and the rest of the day is like, you're eating bonbons and watching reality TV, which is couldn't be further from the case. Every creator I know is so hardworking. They're working like 10, 12-hour days.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. It feels like you can never stop either, especially with having your phones always on you, but also just thinking. It's so hard to turn it off because during the day I'll be like, should I be filming this? Should I be recording this? Should I be vlogging this? This is an idea. You know, I always have notes everywhere around the house because
Yeah.
I get ideas at random times. But yeah, like you said, people think, you know, they see a finished product on YouTube and think that's all it is. I mean, just the planning that goes into it, learning about lights and editing and cameras, everything that you have to be self-taught in is so much. But the admin, the emails, I get hundreds of emails every day. It's so, so hard to get through all of them. And then, you know, add in all of the platforms. As someone who started as a blogger, it used to be so simple to have a blog and then post your blog post on Twitter. And now it's like you have to be everywhere. You have to be in all these different places. And it's so, I mean, it just can
Daunting.
be a
Yeah,
lot.
it's a lot. You have to pick and choose. I mean, you know, there's new social medias cropping up. You know, there's Clubhouse. I had, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you know, dozen people. Why aren't you on Clubhouse? Well, I'm like, oh, I don't know, because I don't have time. Like, I
I
can't.
didn't have
Like,
time
I don't
either.
even have time to download it and like check it out, let alone create content for it. And it's
Nope.
like, there's just not enough time, especially if you're gonna
Yeah.
do some things right, like YouTube. There takes a lot of time to do YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I think so many people forget about that back end. And it's really it's so
It's a
much.
lot.
So yeah, you might see a 15-minute video, but that took hours and hours to
Yeah.
create.
Yeah.